Welcome back to another video. Again, algebraic fractions, but we're going to start with a joke. What was left when the cheese factory exploded? Nothing but debris. You'll get it if you like cheese. All right, today we're talking about algebraic functions. Functions. It's been a long week. Algebraic fractions. So algebraic fractions, it works similar to regular fractions. So if you're good with regular fractions, you should be fine. If not, we're going to go through them anyway together. So we'll see how we go. Now, just remember, when we're talking about algebraic fractions, if we're adding and subtracting them, we'll need a common denominator. If we're timesing and dividing, there's a separate set of rules. So what we'll get is, let's have a look at some of these. These are algebraic fractions, and we're definitely adding or subtracting. You can see here, minus, plus, minus. I'll show you how we deal with questions like this. If we need a common denominator, we need what we call our lowest common multiple. So that means it's going to be the number that both the denominators will times nicely into. So I generally pick the bigger number and I keep multiplying, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4 until the number works for both. I can see here that it will be 6. 2 can multiply into 6. 3 can also multiply into 6 nicely. That's going to be our common denominator. Now, to make sure that we kind of change to equivalent fractions, we don't just kind of pull numbers or change certain numbers, that we keep the values the same. I need to figure out, how did I get from 2 to 6? Well, I multiplied by 3. So if I did that to the bottom number, I also need to do that to the top number, which means 5x times 3 would give me 15x. Okay. Now the other one here, if I look for the other term, this one here is going to be 3 times something gives me 6. I know it's going to be times 2. So it makes sense to me that the top number will also need to be multiplied by 2. So 2x times negative 2x times 2 is just going to give us, not 2. My bad. This one's going to give us 4x. Okay. Now I know this looks pretty messy, so I'm going to keep this one here. But now at this point here, I'm just going to go, it's in the same denominators. So now I can just deal with the tops. If I have 15x, take away 4x, I'm going to have up the top, I'm going to have 11x. And here's the common misconception. You're not going to have 6 minus 6 equals to 0, because it's still kind of like we're talking about sixths. So it's like 15x, lots of 6, take away 4, lots of x of 6, and then it's going to give us 11x of sixths. Hard to do because it's very wordy, but I hope you guys are kind of getting this. Okay, now if my denominators are like this, I can see here that my lowest common multiple, I know that there's an x, so I'll definitely need an x. And if I'm looking at 4 and 6, I know the lowest common multiple will be 12, because 6 goes into 12 and 4 goes into 12 as well. So I'm going to write that. That's going to be my new denominator. My first one is going to represent this fraction. And then my second one here is going to represent that fraction. Very similar to before. How many times will 4x go into 12? Well, I can see that I need to times 3. So I'm going to times 3 up the top as well. 3 times 3 is 9. And I'm looking at 6x. How do I get that to 12x? Well, I need to multiply it by 2. So I'm also going to multiply by 2 up top. And we have to use just multiplication. So in this case here, 9 plus 2 is 11. And my denominator for addition and subtraction will stay the same. Okay, and last one, it gets more algebraic. It's going to look and feel more difficult, but it's actually going to be the same. Now, this one here, I want you to take note. We have no idea what x plus 2 is, and we have no idea what x is. So one way to make sure that they can both go into it is to use both of these. So I'm going to use x plus 2, and I'm going to multiply it by x. And so that there is going to be my new denominator. Okay. Now, how did I get from x plus 2 to x plus 2 times x? Well, I had to multiply by x. So what do I need to do up top? Same thing. I'm going to multiply by x, which gives us 2x. Okay. Again, a little bit messy, so I'm just going to take this down. If I look at this one here, how did I get from x to x plus 2 times x? Well, I had to multiply by x plus 2. So I'm going to do the same thing here as well, multiply by x plus 2. And so that's going to give me 3 bracket x plus 2. Okay. Again, I'm going to get rid of this just to clean it up a little. So that's what we've got, but that's not quite simplified yet. We've got a nice denominator, so I'm going to write it as 1 now because we can. X plus 2 bracket and then x out the front. And then I can see here it's going to be 2x. And then I'm going to go expand this bracket up here, take away, and I'm going to put in big brackets here, 3x plus 6. Okay. Now the reason that one is important, let me move down just a little bit. Much more. The reason that that one's important is I'll need to simplify it a little bit further. So it's going to be 2x minus 3x minus 6, almost got me there, over x plus 2x. And what that's going to give me is that's going to give me 2 take away 3 is going to be negative x minus 6 all over x plus 2x. Okay. And we've got one more here. It's going to be very, very similar. I'm actually going to leave this. Oh, no, this one is something different. Okay, now this one here, this is where the more you do this, the better you'll get at it. But I can see here that the bottoms have a common denominator or have something common. If I was to rewrite this as 2 bracket x plus 1, I factorize the left-hand side. And that's nice for me because the right one, the one on the right has already got x plus 1. So far, I'm just factorized the bottom. What's the common denominator? Well, one is x plus 1 and one is 2 lots of it. So in other words, one is double the other. So I'm going to have 2 bracket x plus 1 plus 2 bracket x plus 1. And I can see that this one's just going to be 7. And then this one gets multiplied by 2. So I'm going to have to 3 times 2 is 6. So my final answer will be 13 over 2 bracket x plus 1. All right. Moving on. I think we're almost there. Looks like this could be a big one, guys. Hold tight. Okay, so simplifying algebraic fractions, or in other words, we like to cancel a lot. Okay, so in other words, whenever you see algebraic fractions, if you can, if possible, factorize everything. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, I'm going to factorize the top because I can see a common factor of 2. And that's going to be my factorization of the top. My bottom is going to remain the same. Now, only when things are factored can you start canceling things out on top and bottom. So 2 will simplify to a 1, and then the 6 will simplify to a 3. So in other words, I divided the top and bottom by 2. All right, and this leaves me with 2x plus 5 all on 3. That would be my simplified version. Okay, same concept. Let's work with this here. The top is a trinomial, so 2 numbers that multiply to give me 10. Add to give me 7, I can see this will be x plus 5, x plus 2, and then it's all over just a single x plus 2. You can see that your bottoms will cancel out. And this leaves me with x plus 5, not over 0, but over 1. Whenever you cancel things out, it turns into 1 because it's kind of like dividing by itself type thing. Whenever you divide by itself, it'll be 1. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, 10 divided by 10 is 1. X plus 2 divided by x plus 2 equals to 1. And anything over 1 is just itself. So the answer for this one here will just be x plus 5. All right. Now, multiplying or dividing algebraic fractions. Again, factorize where possible and then simplify or cancel. And then for multiplication, you go straight across. So if I had this equation here, 2 over 3 times a on 7, you just go straight across. So 2 times a is 2. 2 times a is 2a. 3 times 7 is 21. That's it. And then for division, I use this thing called KFC, which is just a fancy way of saying keep, flip, change. Okay, doesn't fit. Keep, flip, change, KFC. Keep the first term the same. Flip the second term. So instead of a on 7, I'm going to write 7 on a. And then instead of, I'm going to change the sign from division to multiply. So this here becomes 2 times 7, and then 3 times a becomes 3a. Okay, and the other thing is you can simplify on the diagonals. I'll show you how to do that. So what we want to do is, with all these questions, let's factorize where possible. So this one's a multiply, I want to multiply across. It'll be too messy if I go straight across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factorize each of these terms. This bottom is a difference of two squares, if you remember. So that will become x plus 2, x minus 2. And then the next term here, I can see there's a common factor of 4. So I'm going to take that out and factorize it. That leaves me in the bracket just x plus 2. And then it's going to be all over a. Now, in terms of what I'm crossing out, I can see 1x plus 2 on top and 1x plus 2 on the bottom. So I can cancel one each. And I can also see 1a at the top, 1a at the bottom. I'm going to cancel those. The game is whatever you can take. If you can take one off the top, you can take one off the bottom. That's how it works. You can't cancel across ways. It just needs to be, one needs to be above, one needs to be below. And this will give you, I'm looking at what's left. What's left is 4 times 4, which is 16. And then at the bottom, everything else is kind of turned to 1, leaving us with just the x minus 2. That there would be your answer. Okay. And so if we have this one here, again, looks complex. Let's break it down bit by bit. Okay, 12x can't really be simplified, so I'm going to leave it as is. But the bottom of that fraction can definitely be simplified. Or I'm going to find two numbers that will multiply to give me 9, but add to give me 6. Because it's a trinomial, I can see it's going to be 3 and 3. So I'm just going to write it as x plus 3 all squared. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, before I do anything, I'm going to factorize the right-hand side. So I'm going to keep the division there. I'm going to put 4 as a common factor between 4 and 8. And it's going to leave me with x plus 2. And then at the bottom here, I've got another trinomial, two things that will multiply to give me 12, add to give me 7. I can see it's plus 4 and plus 3. So I've got x plus 4 and x plus 3. Okay, now this is where we use our KFC. Keep, flip, change. KFC, love that stuff. So keep the first term the same, 12x over x plus 3 squared. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip the second one. So instead of that on that, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be x plus 4 over x plus 3 over 4 bracket x plus 2. And then I'm going to change the sign to a multiply. Now I'm looking at here. I'm going to cross out what I can. Now I can see here that there's x plus 3 up top. So if I get rid of 1 on top, I can get rid of 1 on the bottom. So now there's only one lot of x plus 3 on the bottom now. Okay, x plus 4, can't really do anything about that, but I do see between the numbers 12 and 4, we can simplify that. 12 on 4 is the same thing as if I divided both by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And this would leave me with, maybe I'll do my answer here. I've got 3x up top. I've also got an x plus 4 up top. So I'm just going to multiply those together. And then at the bottom, I've got one lot of x plus 3. And I've got one lot of x plus 2. And everything else is cancelled. I would not expand or try to bring it out. That's probably as simple as you can get. Factorize is great. I think that should be it for this lesson. Hope that was okay. Good luck, all the best, and see you later. Bye.